Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a sheriff's office is warning of a text scam you might have gotten about DMV payments. And we have the story of one man's road to recovery after being bitten for the 16th time by a venomous snake last month.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Wednesday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this June 11th. We are approaching that 6 o'clock hour, which means it's time for Megan to give us a check of this morning's weather. I'm not a fan of the mugginess or the fog. I've said it once and I'll say it all summer long.
Well, the good news is, and I don't know if you're a fan of this or not, but it's a little bit warmer this morning. I know you're not a fan of the warmer temperatures in the afternoon, though. So let's kind of break down what you can expect throughout the day as we're seeing temperatures this morning in the upper 50s and low 60s. And I don't know if you heard it or not, but there was a boo in the background from Amelia. She is not a fan of the warm temperatures in the morning. And as I mentioned, definitely not a fan of those warm temperatures this afternoon. We're seeing the mid to upper 80s with even warmer temperatures on the way for your Thursday. Here's a look at that visibility across the region. Drive safe as we're seeing patches of dense fog this morning, but in good news, nice and dry conditions will exist all day long. So look forward to that. Here's a look at that travel forecast as we're heading throughout the day. 60s for this morning with clear skies. Looking at sunny skies around that lunchtime mark with temperatures in the upper 70s. By dinner, we're looking in the mid 80s with mostly sunny skies. Amelia.
Folks with the ministry from North Carolina say they had a special mission from the Lord to fulfill after nearly 24 people died from the May tornado. They set up crosses to honor those who lost their lives from the natural disaster. WYMT's McKinley Calandrino has the story.
20 crosses with 20 names, each representing a life lost during the devastating tornado. Judy Morris with Emerge Ministry says they have supplied and served more than 30 disaster sites since 2017. But this time, she had no plan or supplies, just a calling.
I just felt, get in your car and go. And I said to myself, what is little old me going to do in Kentucky? There are thousands of volunteers there working.
After spending time in the Sunshine Hills community, ministering and praying for families, Morris says God gave her a vision.
That we were supposed to have a place where everybody could come together, a mutual place, and where they could share with each other and they could meet each other and they could grieve together. And it would represent God and the fact that He had not forgotten them.
Still no plan. Just a vision and the help of a manager with a supply company who supported the idea.
And I began to tell him my vision, and as we made eye contact, he began to weep and I began to weep. And he said, I want you to go around this store and whatever you need to build this memorial site for our community, I want you to just collect it all and come back to me and I'll charge it all off.
A vision that soon came to life and reminds family members of lost ones that will never be forgotten, such as Carla, who lost her son, Marshall, that was shielding over her during the storm.
It's been such a blessing just to have a place to see, not just for Marshall, but everybody else, a place where people can remember that they were people who were loved. And they're not just names, they were people. But when you're here, you feel peace because you know that God has them. That's what our cross represents. And it does give me peace.
To honor the families and lost ones while helping folks remember God will provide. In Laurel County, McKinley Calandrino, WYMT Mountain News.
Judy says as time goes on, she hopes that the family members who have lost a loved one will take their cross to remember their life. Marshall's family says they plan on taking the cross when they're ready, but for now, it's a powerful memorial for the community. The Perry County Sheriff's Office and others have posted on social media about a scam alert. The text states that it's from the Kentucky State DMV, warning folks about a final notice of an outstanding traffic ticket. The text goes on to state that penalties will be taken if you don't pay by June 8th. But law enforcement officials want you to know this isn't real and don't respond.
The sheriff's office or local government offices and things like that will never send you a text message. We'll never call you advising that you've got a warrant on you, or email you or text you things requiring payment. If we have any kind of a problem like that we need to address, we will directly contact you by coming to your house.
Officials say that if you have clicked on the website or texted the number back, don't worry, but check with your bank for any fraudulent activity. In Laurel County, the clerk's office received 2 calls within 24 hours from scammers trying to access 2 different people's deeds to their homes. County Clerk Tony Brown tells us one of the scam victims is a tornado survivor. When deed room employees noticed red flags during one of their calls, they asked for identification.
And they actually sent an ID with the wife's name and her driver's license number, but it had the incorrect address on it.
Brown says the photo on the fake ID also did not match the person's identity. Brown says he called the sheriff's department right away and they have opened an investigation. He encourages folks in Laurel County to sign up for a property fraud alert. It's a system that notifies you if anything comes through the deed room in your name. He says with early notification, you can contact local law enforcement to help you sooner. Some meteorologists and tornado researchers believe the region dubbed Tornado Alley is starting to shift east, including our western counties. You can see that map on WYMT.com. Shane Smith lives in Laurel County, where 17 people died and more than 800 homes were damaged or destroyed. He says years down the road, he hopes people will remember more than just the destruction.
I think people are going to remember, hopefully, the love that was shown in the aftermath of this, that a community can rally together and rebuild, that a community can take care of its own, that people, despite some of their bad nature, because we've seen some bad-natured behavior through this, that the good outweighs the bad.
You can watch that full interview with Smith from Issues and Answers on WYMT.com. Well, he's had 16 venomous snake bites and survived. The most recent one left him on life support and in the hospital for 2 weeks. Kentucky Reptile Zoo Assistant Director James Harrison was bitten by a highly venomous Jameson's mamba early last month. Kelsey Soto shows us Harrison's road to recovery and why he continues his work with such dangerous animals.
Jim Harrison was trying to pair up a set of Jameson's mamba for breeding purposes. The male snake touched the female snake's tail. She quickly slithered out of the cage. Harrison tried to capture her, but the male mamba saw an opening and struck him in the hand.
I actually had to pull it off my hand. I almost took a second bite because I had to catch the other one.
Harrison had anti-venom and had to be medevaced to UK hospital.
Then I crashed and they said my jaw locked, which is common with neurotoxin, and they had to forcibly get the intubation tube into me.
The assistant director of the Kentucky Reptile Zoo was placed on a ventilator for a few days and had a 2-week hospital stay. You could see in this video the venom working, forcing his leg muscles to twitch. This is his 16th venomous bite.
This was a desert horn viper from Saudi Arabia over 35 years ago. I average 600 to 1,000 venom extractions a week and have been doing that for 50 years.
Here's some video of Harrison days after his release from the hospital, back at it, extracting venom from that same type of snake. He does it for a lot of reasons: anti-venom, opioid replacement drugs, and potential cancer drugs, an ongoing research project.
So I am doing something that saves lives. So I know the risks. I choose to take them so somebody else doesn't have to suffer.
Kristen Wiley, the director of the Kentucky Reptile Zoo, says her 66-year-old husband has slowed down on the extractions, but says he will continue the work.
If he feels up for extracting, then he's going to extract, and that's his decision to make.
I know the risks I take, and more than anybody else, I know what can happen to me.
The Kentucky Reptile Zoo in Powell County has one of the largest collections of venomous snakes in the world, with 1,200 venomous snakes on the property.
It's going to be a nice and clear day all day long, even seeing that sun coming out to play as we head into the afternoon. Here's a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar. And even if we were to switch to the satellite, you wouldn't see anything because there's not even a cloud. in eastern Kentucky. Here's a look at those current temperatures this morning, sitting in the 50s, seeing 60 degrees popping out for Pikeville in Prestonsburg. And this afternoon, temperatures will be even warmer in the mid to upper 80s for most of eastern Kentucky. A little bit cooler for our Virginia counties, upper 70s and low 80s. Here's a look at that breakdown for the day. Again, looking at sunny skies and mostly sunny skies with temperatures hitting the high around that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock mark. Make sure you break out those sunglasses today. Amelia.
Thanks for joining us.